All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Blockchain Gaming News number 8. We're already on number 8. Hello, Andrew.
Hey, guys.
All right, so we got a bunch of stuff today. Pretty excited about something coming up in Vancouver, which is CoinFest, and we're having a blockchain gaming summit.
Not just in Vancouver, it's all over the world.
Yeah, CoinFest was actually founded by my friend Andrew right here, way back in, was it 2013?
Yeah, 2013.
2013.
Those were the days.
Yeah, just wanted to start a decentralized convention, and you just did. And here we are in 2019, and it's become a global thing. Every April, the first week of April, you can just host your own CoinFest because it's open source, and you just have to adhere by the CoinFest values of it's got to be free and done at places that accept Bitcoin to help push adoption. So yeah, you did 6 years, my friend. Good job.
Thanks.
How many cities is it in now?
This year it's 9 or 10, 10-ish. Yeah, we call it a protocol, just like you can join the Bitcoin network if you abide the protocol, so too can you join CoinFest. We're funded by cool sponsors and donors, and this year our global sponsor is Horde Exchange.
Oh, hold on. I was trying to time out a nice screen share for right when you said that.
Oh.
But it didn't work. Horde Exchange.
Oh,
Did it work?
There. They can see.
Go.
They get the idea. These are the guys who made Plasma Dog. We had them at a previous meetup. Alex got us in touch with them, if I recall, and they're nice guys. They're going to be in Manchester as well, CoinFest UK. There's hundreds of people there, but it's not going to be gaming focused. But they're going to have a booth there, and they're also their donation to CoinFest Global is funding events across Africa, which is nice of them to want to do. So you'll see the Horde Exchange logo on t-shirts and banners in Nigeria, Botswana, Ghana, Sierra Leone, which feels good. And also, I think people really play games. They do in these countries. Like if you go to Venezuela, people already use WoW Gold and other game currencies transactionally. This is not so far-fetched for them. But coming back to Vancouver, yeah, we're planning some cool stuff over here for CoinFest.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that UK ended up being like the bigger CoinFest now. So like you created it, and Vancouver always does one, but we're not the biggest one anymore. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a guy, the guy who does UK is had years experience hosting events, but he also has like his own server and web development team. So he has a lot of resources, and their community is pretty cool in Manchester. They are they like to party. It's the best way to put Manchester. Football, soccer hooligans. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, so but in the Vancouver one, we're doing a blockchain gaming summit. It's going to be all day Saturday. Who else do we have coming by?
So yes, there's a couple local companies and some people who are traveling for quite some ways to come to the Blockchain Gaming Expo. Probably the most notable to everyone right now is Enjin. We'll give some updates on what's so notable about them recently later in this broadcast. Yeah. But yeah, Enjin's going to be here. Block and Chain Games. We're going to set up like a booth for them probably, but it's looking like he might not be able to travel here.
Oh no.
I'll give an update on them, I guess, or as much info as I can. And then our friend from Hash Kings will be coming up here. So we'll have that guy. Let's see, there's 3 more. Who are we missing? I just need to keep open the list.
Yeah, it's an ever-changing thing. But if you guys are in Vancouver, or if you're close enough by, like, there's not much blockchain gaming centric stuff where we get everyone together on our side of the world. Really, actually, it's all in Europe right now. It'd be nice to get a bunch of us together.
Also have CoinDroids. CoinDroids guy is pretty cool. He's been on Block Talk with us several times during CoinFest, beaming in remotely. This is the first time he's actually coming to Vancouver.
Oh, awesome.
And then we also have GeoCoin. GeoCoin guys are cool, yeah. The GeoCoin guy, so for those not in the know, we're having a blockchain wedding, which is kind of starting to really interlap with the expo in that. Yeah, I guess I should really explain this
Yeah, so,
concept
so
more.
basically on the Friday of CoinFest. So CoinFest is the first whole week of April, but you can kind of do whatever you want. So since the weekend 6 and 7, we're doing our blockchain gaming summit on the Saturday all day.
Yeah.
With a ton of people. But then Sunday, my friend Andrew here is going to real marry his wife. They already got legally married, but it's not on the blockchain, so it doesn't really count yet.
That's
so we need
right.
to make sure they're officially married. I get the honor of doing the ceremonies, but it's not going to just be for you. We're going to have a couple. We're going to try to get as many couples to make it real as possible. So yeah, you said we have a few new additions.
Yeah, and so 3 of 4 of our couples are from the blockchain gaming industry. One is myself and my wife. Another is Witek, CTO of Enjin Coin. And another is the GeoCoin guy.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I've met him. He's coming to a few of the meetups.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool.
Yeah, good.
He's gonna join us, and then another local Vancouver blockchain person is gonna join us in the wedding. So that's not, it's not really blockchain gaming themed, but a lot of blockchain people are involved and at the center of attention there. So that should be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm bringing my mom and my kids actually.
Nice. I'm bringing my mom too. Your mom can meet my mom.
That's a good
Great.
point. Yeah, we got to do it. It's going to be an interesting day. Yeah, and then it's going to be interesting what protocol everyone picks. I think you were going with BitNation. I'm assuming VTech or WeTech will go with Enjin Coin somehow. Like he's got to get married on the Enjin chain.
He can
use the Enjin wallet.
And people have done BitNation weddings before, not en masse, but it's just easy to use. Their protocol, they've already done, there's precedent and work done on their end enabling this type of thing already.
Yeah, it's not just to throw together a transaction where you're like, okay, let's break up the private key now. You take 12 words, I'll take 12 words or something.
Well, they're talking about that, going long term, and now we're really nerding out on blockchain wedding stuff. But it's all about how you deal with custody and kids. I heard one person mention you set up the multi-sig as a family, and like some people get more signatures and therefore more votes than others. I don't advocate that system at all.
Yeah, too complicated. I've always thought
I think you tokenize the kids.
Tokenize the kids.
Yeah, you tokenize the kids, and you can describe what's called a badge on Ethereum. So it's like a token, but cannot be anyway. So basically we need to set rules. We need to make. I shouldn't have mentioned badges. Actually, that's a bad example. We need to make these tokens that can have ownership, such that one day, upon coming of age, basically the token is converted to a key pair. Right, so everything that token owns is suddenly possessed by some address that the kid coming of age gets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot of interesting problems to try and solve, obviously. But yeah, that's the blockchain wedding. It's gonna be a quad wedding. We really want to get a 5th person because I don't want it to get confused with a quadriga wedding.
Oh God!
Let's not talk about quad wedding. We need a triple wedding or a quint wedding.
Yeah. Well, yeah, join us. We have free champagne that only the couples may drink. So if you seal a deal on the blockchain, you can partake with us. And canapes.
There's an extra bonus.
Yeah.
All right. So the last meetup we had.
Oh wait, we should talk more about the expo, I guess.
Oh, did we skip? Yeah, I think that was. Or do you have more on the expo?
I guess not too much more. I guess. Oh, the games. Show everyone the cards. You have them near you.
Oh yeah. So we're also doing live games. We will have lightning chess, and then and also I'm assuming some sort of poker on the blockchain or not on the blockchain. I do wish that whoever made these cards went with Doge instead of Neo.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, these are awesome. We got a few decks of these, and then we'll be doing a poker tournament. I'm not sure if the prize is in Doge or not, but it really should be.
Yeah, and other than that, it'll be booths and presentations. So come stop by.
Yeah, we should have a live stream on going for at least a chunk of it on the Block Talk channel, which is Alex Dirk. My understanding is he streams something for most of the CoinFest. So, yeah, we already
we'll figure something out.
We'll be doing this one.
We have our own channel as well. We got to figure out who's doing what. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, live streaming an event is work, like a lot. So I say if Sturk wants to step up and be the man, he's the man. All right. Yeah, let's go through some more of the other news we had. Or let's revisit the last meetup. Did you end up watching it? You couldn't be here. You were, I believe, talking to some African government about Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's a workshop we do. I facilitate a blockchain education workshop for the Nigerian government. Which is, how did that happen?
I don't know, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's not a new thing. You've been doing this for like a while, right?
Yeah, it was on a hiatus for a couple years. Government contracting is complicated, especially when you switch administrations, which is what happened. Good luck went out. Buhari came in, and then so there's shakeups. But now it's started back again. So
cool.
I just teach them about disruptive tech and cybersecurity. And this time, what was that? Oh, I think he's letting someone in. Everyone, is that someone at the door? What was that?
For people that don't realize, I'm at the place where we do our live streams from, usually with our guests, and our lightning beer machine just turned on, and to cool the beer, so I unplugged it.
Oh, that was what that was. Yep, beer machine. That is so awesome. Every time.
I'm pretty sure it's still the world's first. It was the world's first Bitcoin beer machine and the world's first lightning beer machine. We just upgraded it.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so where were we? Yeah, so Hash Kings was here last time. It was the first time we didn't have a live guest, but also we were supposed to. I had car issues driving up from Seattle, which isn't that far, but we ended up beaming in old school style. We were, bringing the guests on the wall over there, and it still went really good. Yeah.
That's good. I browsed through it really. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing in depth. I'm glad it went well. I was sad to miss one, but he missed it too anyway.
Yeah, it was also a case of the bear market and coming for our audience. There was not a lot of live people here that one. There was a couple, or one guy came. The GeoCoin guy still made it. Yeah, but we had like 12 RSVPs on the meetup, and that's been happening more and more lately. Where like people are RSVPing when it comes down to it. It's like, it's hard to make it. Blockchain gaming is still so niche, so we got to keep pumping it.
Yeah, well, it'll turn around. The markets always do in Bitcoin land.
Yeah, we're gonna get our gaming tokens while we can. Yeah, I had a dilemma with one of my dumb ETH tokens. Actually, we'll get into that when it comes up.
Yeah. Well, what other news do we have?
Well, I would say we're updating more of our site. People want to keep coming and checking that out. Let me share that right here.
Oh, wait. Also, let everyone know, our next meetup in April is not occurring. Because of CoinFest. Yeah. CoinFest replaces our next meetup. So the next meetup is in May, and that will feature Volition, which is like a trading card game on the blockchain.
Oh, cool.
He's flying in. But yeah, web updates.
Yeah, let me share right here. Click. There we go. Yeah, so we got a couple more site updates. We really want people to come back to our forum if that's the kind of thing you're into, because I think a lot of the right age group of people is used forums when they were younger, and blockchain gaming is. I don't think it's really attracted to the super younger crowd in a lot of ways. It's like the people who are nerded out on games. You know, like most people I've met throughout it are not like the young gamer types, right? We're like the weird nerd gamer types. So I think a lot of us used gaming forums when we were younger, and it'd be nice to. And sometimes it's nice to keep that old style going. It'd be nice to bring it back a little more.
Yeah, show them the events page too. That's new.
Back out of the point. Oh, okay. Events. Yeah, and if you want your event listed anywhere,
Adding new
you don't have it
pages.
yet, make sure to reach out. So we got our events here, but like for the big, are we going to list bigger events here too, like the conferences and stuff? I would assume.
Yeah, for now we've just listed CoinFest, but we may like to partner with other blockchain gaming conferences and list those as well.
Oh yeah, there you go. Past meetups too. Yeah, it's come along very well.
Yeah, slow going, but it's coming along. It's just so busy, man. Our web dev is busy.
There's always so much going on. Like, yeah, crypto land is moves so fast. So it's just like whenever you can't really get your footing anytime, you just keep going. So it's like, yeah, work, and build. But it's always fun.
Yeah,
it's never boring. Like every week is something crazy.
Our social medias, Facebook and Twitter, is still super active. Facebook's been attracting spammers all the time, coming to post about. I had to clamp down with the rules a bit to try to keep the posts more engaging. Like, write some content, make it directed at the community. Blank shares are usually not liked by readers.
Yeah, it's just a lot of spam it turns into, right?
And then Reddit's still growing. We're starting to get more people posting links on our subreddit, blockchain gaming subreddit. But we'd like to encourage more of you to go there, especially if you want to share a link, but you can't think of anything to say about that link to the community. Reddit that'll be more tolerated, a blank share. Whereas in Facebook, it's kind of like you should write some text with your comment when you share a link. You know what I mean? So if you want to just share stuff straight up, hit up our subreddit and join our Telegram too. But yeah.
Awesome. So I want to move on to some big gaming news that I think is hilarious for a couple reasons, and that is the Enjin Coin Samsung partnership.
What's that?
It's such a big deal, right? So they got literally a Samsung partnership, but if you think about it, it's like the scammiest phrase from 2017. Like whenever Enjin is an ICO, so this is literally an ICO getting a Samsung partnership, and that used to be the kind of thing that would like pump a rumor. You know, there'd be like, guys, I heard there's a Samsung partnership. It just sounds like it's a scam, but somehow
show the CoinMarketCap graph.
Oh yeah, I'll bring that up in a sec. I want to show the what the Samsung partnership brought, and that was this right here. It's gonna basically the Samsung, I think it's the S10 or something. In Korea, has a blockchain key store.
It's gonna
be basically have the Enjin wallet somehow preloaded, or like there's a Samsung partnership, and that's kind of like the big deal, right? So it moons like super hard, like it like double mooned, like 50%, then another 50% or something. Yeah, I don't want to go digging up charts. I have too many tabs open, but congrats to WeTech. I know he's on the grind all the time, and it's crazy to see this come through. And I just when you hear it, it's so not real, right? Like, so crypto went from it being like a thing you'd hear in the background, like the rumors that no one ever really believed, to like a real thing now, like, just a year later, like beginning in 2019, mid 2017, this was hopes and dreams. 2018, this kind of thing was just like, that's not happening. And now all of a sudden, one of our locals who's super awesome and super deserves it gets a Samsung partnership. So yeah, I'm super happy for him.
I've always been a Samsung user myself. I'm always been Android over iOS, and just Samsung. I haven't been attached to Samsung.
Ooh, here, it's got the chart on this news site I have.
Nice.
There's
beautiful.
There's the Samsung partnership reflected in the chart, and they're actually at all-time high, which is like important, like in Bitcoin value. So like, you know, like I don't know the dollars, but that doesn't count anyway. But they're all-time high in Bitcoin value, which is pretty nice.
Are they?
Yeah, there you go. Congrats to our friend who had that happen to his coin. He deserved it. And then another thing that was timed out well with that news is it's a bit older article. I believe it's released now. Is the Unity SDK.
Mm-hmm.
So now basically they got a dev kit where any dev with a like no crypto experience, just like conceptual understanding and dev ability can add Enjin stuff to their game.
Yeah, it's very important for onboarding traditional game developers to blockchain.
Yeah, and then that segues super good into this news that came out a couple days ago. 5 new games are joining the Enjin multiverse. So
Make it easy for them.
Saw the Samsung partnership and like, okay, so this is real. You know, like what's going on? Hey, we should look into this. And it's Enigma Games, and they're basically bringing all their titles over. So they're basically they have a bunch of already played titles, 5 games that are already active, and then they're making 2 more. But all these games are getting brought in, so 5 of them are like, you know, already active playable games that are going to be incorporated. So yeah, super success for Enjin.
Yeah, very awesome. I see them really taking off right now, man. It's great that we have Wittek wanting to participate in our events.
I think it's more just we have him locally, and he's always like participated where he could. You know, like
he's a friend of Decentral.
Yeah, he supports community like as a person, and he cares about community and stuff. So like, just like knowing him and knowing that I know him, so I know that's true. So I guess I'm just basically preaching to people. But the idea is like I know he deserves this, and he's the right person to have, one of the right type of people to have, in charge of making sure like this goes through in like a good way, and not just like a money grubbing like, like, oh, we're just gonna build this and abuse the users. Like, no, he's building it properly and he's trying to do it like in the real blockchain way. So yeah.
Well, they're winning from my perspective on business development. We're also going to mention some XAYA news in this post, which is like XAYA doesn't have the dev fund. They don't have the similar tool sets to attract traditional developers, kind of. Like Enjin is run with the business savvy and experience. You can tell like they're financed cleverly. They haven't wasted all of their funds on marketing crap. They still have one.
No, they were a real dev studio before. Like it was a real game studio, and he was like, okay, we're going all in on blockchain. And he did, and he didn't mismanage like a lot of the other ones.
Yeah.
They did do an ICO. I believe it was a successful one.
But clearly, they didn't lose all their money wasting it on bullshit because they have a dev fund. That's pretty key, right? Whereas I've seen, there's some other platforms that are slightly more advanced technologically, in my opinion, but have less third-party support because their business plan is less advanced, basically. Which is
a lot of layer 2 scaling ones that like are focusing on like we're scaling our game and we're making games, but we're scaling this way. Like they're more focused on scaling, I think. Whereas Enjin's like, okay, we're scaling but making games primarily.
Well, the XAYA team is what they just released is more information about their MMO. So they're going for full decentralization. And in doing so, the analogy I used in my talk in France was like the Wii. It has, some would say gimmick, some would say technological innovation. It has a thing that's really cool and interesting about it. In that case, it was full decentralization. But they don't have the third-party support Enjin has, which is, again, like the Wii in real life. And they don't have the same resources in their business model, and it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I called him Microsoft in France.
Oh.
It's a good analogy, right? They came in, they swooped, they just bought out third-party support, basically. That's what Microsoft did, and it worked. Microsoft is big to this day in the gaming world.
Yeah. So super congrats to him. What do we got next on the list down here? BlockFight. I have not tried this yet, but it says it's on. We're up to an app store. It's like a reel.
Yeah, I believe so. I think at the Play Store on Google.
Yeah, let me share this one. This is a good one. Oh, yeah. So this is BlockFight.
I'm not much of a gambling man, so I haven't really tried it. But I like that they're going with provable fairness. I think that's a good concept to tout. And I've heard of people who are into this genre have been saying really good things.
Yeah, I would like to. I wish I had more time to about a year ago, I was playing everything. You know, I just had more time. I was literally playing everything, like every game that came out. You know, I have so many tokens and stuff, and then it's just like, I don't know, I just stopped. There was only so much time left, so I clicked play now. Let's see what happens.
One thing we may do, kind of, since the BlockFight team probably can't make it, if we could get a laptop, we could just set up at a table. You know what I mean? Like a little kiosk for them. People could try this game out.
Max bet, obviously.
You can try it out, not playing for real, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could set up a laptop at a table at the expo for people to do that.
Okay, there's different win chance against different guys. This is a hot matchup, so I got a higher win chance. Let's do it.
That's how betting works in real life, is it not?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, once you sign up.
Yeah.
Just for the demo, really?
All right, BlockFight. I don't get a KYC to play our game.
I guess we could have done it beforehand, but
yeah, and you know, obviously they don't need proper KYC; they just need email. But still, yeah, I'm gonna quickly do that. I gotta stop this; it's making noise. There we go. But yeah, betting on the blockchain, and I think that a lot of times like value transfer is important. It sucks that it's all betting. Like there has to be some sort of value transfer that comes with whatever you're doing. Otherwise, there's not a lot of reason. Like, okay, I guess the ownership, yes, but like you know, you don't need to transfer your stuff around. You don't need like an epic proof of work chain to store your gaming token. Like that's kind of Enjin's thing, right? They're like, okay, well, we put your gaming tokens over here.
Yeah, at the heart of it, Enjin is a very simple concept, actually. Although the 1155 token standard was honestly a very good technological innovation at especially for decentralized exchanging and saving on fees and stuff. It's just, in the extent to which it integrates games with blockchain, it's not that radical. It's something that it's just true ownership, basically.
Yeah, but yeah, and hopefully it's done right, and like you know, we can all move on to the next level blockchain stuff. Because I want to, you know, like one of the things that everyone used to talk about is programmable money. You know, that's the kind of the thing, right? We got programmable money now. Let's program it to do cool stuff. You know, and now it's like okay, and then ETH comes out and makes it super easy to program that money, and then it's like we're still doing tokens all these years later, and I want that cool and like blockchain innovation I've been waiting for.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Well, there are I guess being really, even though true ownership isn't as far as you can go with decentralization, being really good at it, which Enjin is, has really good advantages. Being really, really good at a simple thing.
Like, yeah, we need a platform for it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they've saved like for example, Age of Rust was on Counterparty, and Counterparty was failing them. And it should be very simple to tokenize your cards and stuff on Counterparty. But its ecosystem failed them. They had to switch ecosystems. But yeah, that's a lot of rambling about Enjin.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that a second ago too. I was like, look at me fanboying out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just exciting, man.
Sure everyone knew I hate tokens.
You hate tokens?
I don't hate tokens, but I think I'm sick of tokens. We've had tokens for a while now. You know, we still haven't got it right, I guess. But yeah, so I think we only got a couple more things. Let me dig this up here. Yeah, XAYA is a fully decentralized autonomous MMO. So I haven't looked into this. I believe you have. Why don't you run us through?
Yeah, they have a smaller team, so it's been slower progress for them. But I've always been a huge fan of their concept and what they're trying to do.
So human
S-
mining?
hmm?
Human mining is their concept?
Yes. Now, just to clarify, this is not the same thing as proof of play, which is a thing that has been done. Well, MotoCoin attempted proof of play, wherein the winner, the person who beat a level, mined a block. This is not that. You don't confirm transactions by playing this game, but you do get newly minted coins. So you can kind of mine for them by playing the game. That's how Hunter Coin works. They're trying to take Hunter Coin to, something more user friendly and actually playable and advanced for anyone to be able to do. And the idea is, yes, a fully decentralized MMO. So it would have no server. Its whole map, everything about it, would be listed on the blockchain. Um,
And are they doing their own chain for this?
That is their plan. As far as I recall, recently, yes, they've built their own chains before. These guys are from Namecoin.
Oh, okay. So they're freaking old
Same.
school.
They are pretty. They've been doing this for a while, so I think they know how to build their own chain actually, because they've done it. I mean, they built the HunterCoin chain as well, and that was forked from Namecoin.
Yeah,
Um,
Namecoin was one of the first interesting shitcoins that like was actually like trying to do something and not just be like Bitcoin with different parameters. Like the Namecoin is so old, before my time even. I think Namecoin was already out when I joined the industry.
Yeah, but I really like the implications for gameplay that serverlessness can have. For one thing, it is truly persistent. Other MMOs are not persistent when their server goes down with no
Yeah, for
server.
maintenance or scheduled upgrades.
Uh, this world is, kind of to the extent that it's always there and it doesn't really shut down. I mean, it can fork, but its autonomousness, the way it keeps running on its own makes it feel more organic to the player. When you have a world that no one can flick a switch and shut off, they can kind of evolve. And I guess to some degree, we already have games out there where the story evolves on its own from the interactions of the players. EVE Online has this. World of Warcraft has had stories emerge on its servers. This takes things to another level in terms of how uncontrolled the world is to evolve on its own. You know, uh, Eve Online essentially has a central bank that controls its game economy. Eve Online, just like I mean, in game worlds they call them money sinks to
Yeah,
prevent any player from accumulating too much. They put out something really expensive to
yeah,
combat inflation. It's
they
similar
work.
to what a central bank does in a country.
Huh.
So here we're going at doing that without that process. And it can just be fascinating, right? Like in the Hunter coin world, and see, looks like it's still tile based, which again, it's easier for them to do this
Well,
tile based.
tile based makes sense on a blockchain because it's
Correct.
all just it's math, right?
It's an array.
Yeah, it's an array. Yeah, so that you can just make. Oh, yeah, and then you can just build things in different tiles. Yeah, I
So
think and they look like they're really far along in this. Like, I scrolled to the bottom. I scrolled past a lot of information that's out for this game. Like combat's like seemingly done. Like they've got a lot of stuff done, and they're already putting out videos, factions, character creation. The base map.
yeah, it's interesting, man. I'm really curious. I am hopeful that this project does well
Yeah,
because I really like this concept of a world that is persistent and autonomous and more. It just feels like it would matter to me more what happens in a world that's designed that way.
Yeah, like where there's actual like permanent, whatever happens in the world is permanent.
Yeah, it would feel more epic to me.
Yeah, like you could literally be like the main cities. You don't even know what the main cities are going to be. It would be whatever city gets built the biggest.
Yeah, like suppose there was a city and you know, in a world like this with powerful players, and this happens in the World of Warcraft. Say I would come to I was Alliance, by the way, just so you all know.
Oh
Don't
no,
judge.
really?
Yeah. I would come with my night elf and I would just beat on some poor town where newbies hang out, right? And then some other powerful horde member would have to come fight me to defend the newbies of that town from me, right? And it became a battle between two epic characters. And in this world, where there's less control, I think those battles will feel more like they matter. Like you'll really, really, if you're a horde guy and I'm in there slaying all the newbies and there's no mods or admins, you'll really want that hero, or to my point of view, anti-hero, to defeat me, right?
Yeah.
You'll all be rooting for him. Like kind of like they do Spider-Man in the movies. They're like, yeah, save us, Spider-Man. You know, you're rooting for this hero because I will slay all of you if he doesn't stop me, right? So it feels consequential. That's a word I would use. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. I like the idea of a world that changes, like okay, with what you're saying, like, but what happens when you don't defend properly? Like, I want to see like the other team, one of the three factions, take over that town. Be like, no, this is ours now,
Yeah.
right? Or like,
Griefing would be terrible.
You know, like, or like, you know, actually like wreck it. It'd be hard to do like the too much damage too fast, I would hope, because like prolonged sieges would be cool. Because if you didn't have them, then you just come in at night when people are sleeping, you know, like just wreck the town, like just like raise it to the ground, you know, flatten it.
Yeah.
Salt, oh god, salt the earth.
I mean, MMOs already experimented with ways of preventing griefing in their games, such that powerful players cannot ruin the experience for newbies who cannot yet defend themselves.
Honestly, in EverQuest, way back in the day on the PvP servers, there was just nothing. It was just if you did a server, you just did not start in a main town because there was always just people waiting outside. And sometimes they would come into the town because if they were strong enough to fight the guards, or if they knew how to like, you know, slow the guards and always get away. Like people would just come right in the towns and just pick you off. Because of course, the first time I'm like, I'm gonna play a PvP server. I was just like a couple of days, and I was like, I haven't done anything yet. I'm just like, I don't know how the game works, and I'm just keep getting killed.
Yeah, and it'll get harder when in a fully decentralized game you can't access centralized methods of preventing that anymore, limiting your tool set to stop such behavior.
Yeah, like the Hunter Coin example that you've given before, where like someone just bought it hard and like
Dominator.
What was his name?
The Dominator took
the
over
Dominator.
the world.
Did he name himself that?
No, he's pseudonymous. He was named that.
Everyone knew there was a guy. It's like this guy's doing it. Everyone called him the Dominator. Yeah, he found the choke point in the map and basically like hard.
They had to fork the protocol to undo his exploits and adjust the gameplay. So that is a new 2.0 method of preventing griefing. Methods that don't require constant central authority.
Yeah, when it gets bad enough, everyone's like, okay, this is clearly a problem and the game is broken. Like you can deal with imbalances. Imbalances are part of games. Like if everything was balanced, then it would just be like rock, paper, scissors, right? It'd be always fair. You know, there needs to be like power imbalances that are, you know, based around different time frames of the game or whatever. Like there needs to be imbalances, like things that are strong, things that are weak in different situations. So like, yeah, it's just sometimes if everyone agrees that it's broken though, then it's like, okay, guys, this is broken. Let's fork. Like let's actually like, you know, and then it would take, you know, there'd be like very few interventions. But whenever you did have an intervention, there'd be pretty big consensus on it. They're like, okay, guys, you know, game's broken. We can't play. I think it's time to fork.
Yep. Same
but
as.
Other than that, I bet you get hardcores that would never want to fork. They're like, no, I don't care if it's imbalanced. Like, it's on the blockchain, man. Like, unless it's broken, you know, that would be the XAYA Coin Classic guys.
Yeah. And one last bit of news that I put on the list was the conferences I've been checking out. There's a Game Developers Conference, the South by Southwest Conference. Basically, the short end of it is a lot of the guys from the Blockchain Game Alliance and the Enjin Coin team have been going to these traditional video game centric conferences and setting up just massive booths and side attractions for blockchain at these game conferences. I think at one of them they had a whole day, like a blockchain game party or blockchain game panel or something that was adjunct to one of their conferences. Also, Mythical Games had a huge presence at these conferences. Mythical Games, if you all don't recall, is the one that's recently launched with some venture backing. Their team is made up of ex-Nintendo, Activision, Blizzard, just like former heavy hitters from major companies that got together, made Mythical Games and its blockchain, and they announced some interesting stuff at these conferences as well. I'm guessing Alex looked something up over there.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually looking up the last couple other things, unfortunately. I was just going to let you talk about those.
But yeah, you guys can find the links to those conferences. They're pretty well known. Everyone's heard of those, I think. South by Southwest.
Yeah. Well, there was some crypto presence there, non-gaming related even. The local guy, Right Mesh, were there, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Right Mesh has been making waves still, and they're good people too. Not really gaming related at all, but
yeah,
one of the projects. So we're lucky in Vancouver. We actually have like a lot of good projects that, like, even though like it was a really bad time in the industry and a lot of crap was coming around, like we were lucky to have like some good ones with good people. So go us.
Yeah, go Vancouver.
All right. Okay. This is what I was mentioning earlier. That so when we're talking about different things scaling, and we're shilling Enjin Coin maybe too hard. I mentioned that Loom, which is the ones who do crypto zombies, I believe, and then they do like a zombie battleground as their game. They are integrating to Tron and EOS. So Loom was basically like a level 2 scaling, layer 2 scaling solution that I think was just a DPoS sidechain. So like a delegated proof of stake sidechain that you could move in your Ethereum in and out of, so you could do faster transactions. And now they have, and then they were one of the people that were making games. You know, like they have a card game on the Loom network, but it seems like they're more focused on scaling than they are on gaming, clearly. They say they didn't get any money for this partnership. So like this is one of our layer 2 gaming solutions, and now it's going to be a chain bridge. So this is something we're seeing a lot more, is people trying to link things. So like I know there's already games, like Chibi Fighter is a good example, right? Chibi Fighters is coming out on Tron. A couple other games have dual launched, but now with this, you're going to be able to have them connect, which I think is interesting because the items are not equal. You know, they either work differently based on what chain they're running on, or they're stronger and weaker based on what chain they're running on, like, or the cost is different completely for the power of the item. So it'll be interesting to see how like this Loom integration, you know, linking chains, and they're already all about gaming. There's already games on both chains, so it'll be interesting to see like if people find ways to like get around those problems.
Cross-chain like, fungibility.
Yeah, truly linked games, right? It changes the fungibility if you can bring items over between chains.
But
especially if those items were previously sold on both chains, like how do you balance that?
Well, it sounds like you're saying that game items across chains are not fungible. Like an item has more value or less value on Ethereum than it does on Tron. For example.
Yeah, which would naturally be the state because Ethereum's more expensive to use by nature. So that just comes down to that, like the economics of it. So because Ethereum's more expensive to use, that item costs more to use on Ethereum than it does on Tron. So from a gameplay perspective, it'd technically be you wouldn't want to play on a Ethereum mainnet. But I guess the idea is you're playing on Loom anyway. So it'll just be really interesting to see how this comes out. It's funny that their first reply to their own tweet is like, "Oh man, Ethereum people are going to be pissed at us," which kind of was a little bit true. A lot of people are pissed. But
I still use Ethereum for Chibi Fighters.
Yeah, I still use Ethereum more than anything. I'm really hard on Ethereum, like in my day-to-day life, like in talking about crypto. I am really hard on Ethereum, but I always make sure I mention that I actually use it more than any other chain, and including Bitcoin historically. Like, there's just so much more to do. You know what I mean? It's just, there's some fundamental problems that I just are. They're for a different topic, but you know what I mean. Like, but I do use Ethereum more than anything. So, you know, as much as I'm hard on it for some of the decisions or how it works, like, you know, I still use it. It's still a functional network to me that does good.
Yep.
But yeah, one last thing is I'm really excited about this because I thought it would never happen, is that the Etherbots card swap, or you don't got to swap your parts out. So if you own Etherbots parts, the same company made Gods Unchained, and last summer, they said in like a month, you're going to get to use your Etherbots parts to claim some special cards. And then they kept like for not mentioning anything for months at a time. And then they give us an update. They're like, yeah, guys, real soon, a couple weeks. And that was like before Christmas. So I checked the other day. Actually, I checked this morning and I was like, what? I was like, it's here? So you can actually, now if you basically held on to your parts from this dead game, then you can trade them in. And you don't have to trade them in. You still keep them for when they release Etherbots 2. But I don't know, I'm not signed up on this account. Yeah, but so there's the cards in the background there. And there's even like an exclusive card if you own the Lambo. So at some point in the game's history, after the game was dead, Etherbots it was too expensive. It was like too expensive and on the main chain. So it just kind of like, you know, the community was cool. We're still around, but the game kind of died out. And it was just, you know, it was nice. It's nice of them to do, like the same idea of Enjin Coins Multiverse. These guys were like, hey, we made a game. A bunch of people gave us money for robot parts, and now we don't make that game anymore. That's not really cool. You know, they gave us money, and we didn't keep going on that game. So what they did was they let you basically hold on. If you held on to your parts, you got some exclusive cards that just.
What happened to the game?
The which?
What happened to the game?
It was just they didn't. I don't want to trash them too much, but it was clear from the very beginning that they did not understand. They did not respect the space of the blockchain and how much gas costs and how it scales. And the game was like unplayable at like 4 and 5 Gwei, you know, because it was a main chain game. And then the transactions were really expensive. Like they were able to update the contract and save like 30 or 40% of gas just doing it better. So in other words, it should have like never come out before those optimizations. You know, like there was a couple economic things they did wrong in the beginning. There was a few reasons it died, mainly because it was a main chain game that was just putting too much on chain, and which was just like a mistake that a lot of people made. So you know what happens. But they said they're making Etherbots 2, which is going to use the same parts, and that's going to be I'm not sure what sidechain they're going to use. They might have even said Loom a while ago, but it hasn't been really talked about. Etherbots 2 is not really. They just wanted to tell us it was coming. So for each 4 parts you have, you get 4 packs of, and there's like 16 or 20 cards, so it's kind of easy to get them all. And then if you have a Lambo, you get the exclusive card. I don't know if it's up here anywhere, but so at some point in this game's history, when it was like dead, someone sold a bunch of the higher parts. Like a Lambos are expensive, right? It's a Lambo. One of the most powerful cards in the game, of course, right? And it was like 0.25 ether, and I bought it because I was like, why not, right? I'm just gonna buy a digital Lambo, and then now it's 3 ether. So I'm like broke right now. So like I'm really tempted to not get my exclusive card and just sell this Lambo. Yeah, it's funny that like that's the position I'm in. I'm just like, man, this Lambo is worth like 3 ether right now. Like that's like, you know, we're in Canada, so we have like even more fake money. That's like 500 bucks Canadian for this like token that I like got as a joke, because I was like, you know what, like, you know, 0.25 ether. I got a bunch of Etherbots, so I've claimed some of my cards, but I haven't done the Lambo yet. I don't want to claim it because once you claim it, like, you still keep it, which is really cool. But yeah, I know I've been mentioning this part swap like off and on for a long time, just because I was invested in this game, like not like money wise, but like personally, it's fun. So yeah, 8 months later, after the 2-week announcement, these guys came through. So shout out to Gods Unchained team. They actually came through They came through in the end, and they gave us more cards than we were expecting because they didn't want to make them too rare. They'd rather just load them on us, right? Because it was like if one card is one part, then there's only ever it's such a limited number. So they just were like, you know what, spam it. And another good thing they did, which I flagged right away, is that there should be no time limit on this exchange. So any Etherbot part that someone finds in their inventory, like way later, they'd be like, oh, I remember I bought some dummy Etherbots parts and never played with them. Now they can just get free packs. Like, and then there's no time limit. And originally it was going to be like a 2-week or 1-month window. So it's just, yeah. I mean, and that's another example of them listening to the community and like making changes to like the core of their games or to making big decisions about the future of their games based on feedback. And that happened a couple times during Etherbots, like when it first came out and even during the beta. They definitely listened and were like, well, we have to change that. You know, sometimes we had to yell pretty loud, but they always did when they were convinced it was the right thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like I've not always been the nicest to them. But,
it's a love-hate relationship sometimes between the player and the developer.
It's so difficult, right? Blockchain gaming is like such a unique, difficult thing. So not everyone's going to get it right. And by my standards, right, I'm like still, like I use Ethereum more than anything. I trash it all the time. So I'm super hard to please, right? So like I hope no one takes offense at anything I like. You know, I call them an IJO or something, you know, or like, you know, it's just like, yeah, these guys sell JPEGs. You know, I hope you come up with a game and all your JPEGs become playable. I really do, yeah.
Here's to that.
Here's to that, yeah. So if we're almost done, we should show CoinFest one more time.
Come to CoinFest, everyone.
Come to CoinFest, the Blockchain Gaming Summit. This guy's wedding. I'm gonna be.
Bring your SO.
Bring your SO, yeah, your significant other.
Yep, he or she. Come get your champagne.
Yeah, I will not marry. No, I will not do interspecies. I will not use my power for that.
That's good. One person asked me if you would marry a minor.
Yeah. Sounds like, can I marry a minor? You told me I might have to marry 2 ATMs to each other, and I was like, I would do that.
Yeah, no minors.
Picture of me holding an ATM.
No, I didn't mean a Bitcoin miner. I meant like a minor, like MINOR.
Oh, geez, what? No.
Yeah, I was like,
I thought you meant a Bitcoin miner, man. This was funny a second ago.
No,
there's a little picture of me holding a tiny ATM up to another one, and I was like, kiss. Yeah, back in the day. So I would think it'd be funny to perform a marriage between 2 Bitcoin ATMs. That's how companies should join from now on. When they merge, they should merge through blockchain marriages.
Who? What? Oh yeah. Well, it's just not called a marriage, man. It's called a merger.
All right. Yeah. CoinFest, April 6th and 7th. The 6th is blockchain gaming all day if you're going to be near Vancouver. The 7th is the wedding. Multiple weddings in the afternoon. We're doing at least 4 blockchain weddings. And yeah, we hope to see you there. The next, we'll probably do a news one a couple weeks after that, whatever date it falls on. 4 weeks from today, same time. And yeah, if you're in Vancouver, join the Decontrol meetup group and come visit our weird Bitcoin layer.
You can see it. Right,
yeah, literally, we have a secret underground Bitcoin layer downtown. Actually, I want to show you guys one poster before we leave.
The bear whale?
Yeah, this is the bear whale.
An epic day it was.
Yeah, there you go. And then this is that's a Ross Ulbricht painting, not an original. All right, there we go. Yeah, actually, I like broadcasting from here, and we got a nice webcam here now. So, and we're setting it up for good streaming. Sturk's been thrown down.
All right. Well, I guess that's all the news for this time. We'll see you all at CoinFest, hopefully.
Thank you for joining us.
All right.
Okay. See you later, everybody.